for you if you just want to come take a seat. My name is Midnight. It's really nice to meet you. I will be handling your interview today. Did you have a safe drive-in? Everything okay? Find us okay? Okay, great. So today I will be taking some notes throughout the interview, just so you're aware. I do have some materials from the company, and then I also have my clipboard here with some specific questions that the director wanted me to ask you, of course. And then I have a little pamphlet here to just tell you a little bit more about us. I was given these two folders. These are your materials, your resume and cover letter, as well as your references, correct? Okay, if you don't mind, I'm just going to take a quick look and then we'll get started. Got everything I need here. Let me just make a note. Okay, perfect. Oops, sorry. And you are interviewing today for the position of program manager with our company. Is that correct? You'd be surprised. A lot of people come in here and there's just been some sort of misunderstanding, so I always like to just verify. Okay, so I've got you for program manager, and we'll go ahead and just get started if that works for you. Okay, great. Okay, and first, could you just verify your name for me? And your date of birth? Okay, perfect. So can we just start out you telling me a little bit about yourself? I have your resume here, so I will just reference some of this as we go along. And I'm just going to take a few notes. Okay? Okay. All right, and you are located nearby? Are you going to relocate for the job? Okay. Okay, I see here that you started your career essentially managing projects for large railway companies for the development of those projects. What were some of your greatest successes? Mm-hmm. Okay. And were you able to implement any cost-saving models at that time? What type of financial model were you following for those projects? Yeah, so on our online questionnaire, you had responded that you had implemented several cost models for up to 20% project savings. Could you elaborate a little bit more on that statement? Okay. And how much time would you say it took to complete those? Okay. So I have you here. You have quite a bit of management experience, it looks like. Yeah. Okay, that's wonderful. And then here I have that you have managed up to 100 employees on each individual of the teams. How many total employees have you managed at once, including all of your teams combined at any given time? Oh, wow. Okay. And how many direct reports did you have at that time? Okay, that's a lot. And what position were you holding at that time? Let me see here. You were? Okay. Okay, so that was when you were a director from 2017 to 2021? Oh, okay. Sure. And why did you leave that position? Downsizing of the company during COVID? Okay. And then at that point, it looks like you took a break and you did just private contract, you did private contract consultations. You weren't with any specific company. So that was 2021 to late 2022. Okay. And during that time, how many projects did you provide consultations for roughly? Okay. Okay. And you were just doing hourly consultation rates or project totals? Okay. And were you providing were you implementing cost models for them as well, or were you just giving them the consultation services and different information like that? Okay. And do you have any project management certifications? I saw you list a couple there. Okay. And what color belt? PI. Okay. Sure. And you have your master's degree, correct, in project management, it looks like. And business administration as well, so 2 master's degrees then. Okay, and you're currently employed with them? And you've been with them for about 1 year and 2 months. Is there a reason that you want to leave? Is there... Okay. And how long have you been experiencing those difficulties? Okay. And what type of leadership style would you say that you have? Okay. And typically when you have a situation like that, how would you deal with that directly with your direct reports? Absolutely. Okay. And have you experienced those types of challenges in other positions that you've held, or is this a fairly new difficulty that you're facing? Okay. So you're having trouble kind of focusing with that project. Is that a different type of project for you? Oh, okay. So what is your typical type of project that you're more used to managing? Industrial development. Okay, what else? Okay. And so you've overseen the development of a number of hospitals. Okay. And medical facilities in general. Okay. We have actually quite a few of those, so that's a great plus. We are looking for someone with that type of background. How many hospitals? 3? And which hospitals were those? Okay. Okay. Were you located in California at that time? Okay, so you have done virtual project management to a degree. Yes. And how often were you flying back? So you did on-site inspections at 30, 60, 90 of the progress. Okay. So I have a couple of things I want to show you. So here are a couple of the current diagrams for our developers that we're working on. Okay, so we have, let's get my pen here to show you. We have these 4 and then these 3. These are the ones that we have that are the most profitable for us, so we're trying to push those. We also have a competitor who develops based on this model. And so what our goal is to not just encourage these 4, but also market them openly on the sites that we're already developing on. So I'll just give you a second to take a look at those. Feel free to kind of browse here. There's a couple other options. Here's the other one. Yeah, so I just want you to take a look at all 3. Give me your first thoughts, what you think are maybe some of the challenges to selling these against one of these, and then give me any recommendations that you have, okay? So I'll just set that there with you for now. I'll give you just a second to take a look, okay? Sure, whenever you're ready. I'm just going to take a few notes. Okay. So you're referencing here, you want to open this a little bit more as opposed to this feeling more closed. That's a good point. I see it. Okay, what else? Okay, and when you say drive down cost, what would some of your recommendations be to do that? Okay. So high quality but cheaper alternatives. Can you give some feedback on that? Okay, so like you said, replacing hardwood with LVP. Anything else? Okay. So doing some quartz in place of marble. Okay, great. And between the two, did you see any other major concerns that you would have if you were doing project management for this project? This one and this one. Okay. Okay. I'm going to show you a couple photos next. So we are looking at the potential future development of a number of areas that we have not dived into yet. Just going to go back to the beginning and show you. So we're looking at some more rural community projects. So here is one of them where we're looking at doing a glamping development site here in the Smoky Mountains. Here's some pictures of that. And through that process with the last photo, we're trying to come up with better ways to basically sustain the environmental concerns of the community that do not want us to build in these areas. Yes. Any ideas for how you would try to do that as a program or a project manager? Okay. And how do you feel like you could still have enough privacy between them while shrinking the lots? Because privacy is a big concern for our clients. Okay. Natural looking dividers. Okay. Got that for the Smoky Mountain project. And let me show you a couple others. So here we have the beach development projects that we're looking to do. Here, that's the oceanfront one. And then here, this is the island resort. How would you, we're looking for a very kind of wood interior feel for these projects. Yes, both the smoky and this one. Do you have any ideas of how we could kind of combine styles to be more efficient, but still have some unique attributes between each of these projects? And we are using this cost model here if you're interested in providing anything else related to that. Okay. Okay, so different color schemes. Warm, colorful coastal. And then like a darker wood tones in the cabins. And how many urban development projects like that have you participated in or overseen? Okay, that's great. Thank you for your insight on that. That was very, very helpful. Next, I'm just going to show you a little brochure. This is our company brochure. Just wanted to share this with you. This is the overt facing, so we have our internal company brochures. We call those the intra brochures, and those are essentially where we're selling or promoting projects within our workforce. And then we have the overt ones that we share with the community itself. We'll put these at restaurants, bars, etc. to encourage people. So you can see we have quite a few options in the local area here. And then, second, let me turn this page here. So those three I circled are the ones that, based on your background, we felt that you would probably be most likely to successfully manage. Just go ahead and take a look at those. Yes, those three. Is there any concerns with those or any other areas there that you see that you feel would be better fit for you? This one? Okay, that is one of the Smoky Mountain projects that I just mentioned to you. So that's good. Anything else? The Pearl housing development here, that is the coastal ones we had just talked about. For the Smoky, we're doing about 18, and then for the Pearl, we're doing about 45. This is also in the back here, the four most popular that we have, and we do encourage our project managers to push those as they get direct compensation on the percentages of sold for those. Okay, perfect. Any questions on that? Okay, just going to go back to your resume here and just ask a couple more questions. That's all right. Give me 1 second, I'm just reading a couple things. Were both of the awards you received on the healthcare related projects? Okay. And what was the other one for? Oh, okay. Great. And how many homes were involved in that development project? 150 condos. Okay. So you do have experience with condos in coastal areas as well? Yeah. All right. And what about the new Sustainable Housing Act? Any experience implementing that? Oh, that's in the other folder. Okay, sure. Thank you. Love to take a look at that from a portfolio perspective. Yeah. Okay, so you were the project manager and the site designer for both of those? Was that always a dual-headed role for the organization that you were supporting at that time, or no? Okay. Great. Okay, let me just make a note here. That's okay. And you said you did that for how long? 3 years. And what was your favorite thing about that job? And what was one thing you disliked in that position? Okay. Perfect. And what questions do you have for me today? Sure. So let me just show you some of the benefits that we offer. So I have 2 different sheets here. This is the first one that I'm going to show you. This is our general company overview. Yeah, so I can just kind of go over that with you if that's okay. Okay, so here first we have our company motto. It's build sustainably. And no matter what kind of projects that we support, you can see a list here, the urban development, medical development, etc. It's a long list here if you want to read it. We do that sustainably, and we try to promote that from the environmental perspective. Exactly. And then moving down here, for our project managers specifically, we have a few extra benefits, which is very popular. So when you come on board, you have your medical insurance. We have 3 different market options that you can choose from, actually. It's very popular. Exactly. And then you can pair those with dental and vision. One of the best things about it is that if you do the dental and vision, the medical, we will pay out of pocket fully for your dental and vision. Yes, that's a big, big plus. Most people will just get that no matter what because it's free. We offer 5 weeks of PTO and 1 week of sick time to our project managers immediately. If you are working out of your main location, then you do not get this bonus right here. If you are not, and you're working away from that at least 6 weeks out of the year, then we give you this bonus here, and we pay for at least 1 round trip flight back to your main location once a year during your time of choice. Usually people do it around Christmas, Thanksgiving, those types of things. We also offer an increase in 5% locality pay for this location, and that is just due to the housing prices and things like that. So you would automatically be starting at a higher salary than some of our other project managers that are elsewhere. Yep. If you can implement a cost-saving model that saves up to 10% or more in a project, we do automatically credit you with 8% salary increase for that year, and that is consistent. So if you do that, for example, this year, you would get the 8% increase, and it would stay in effect on top of any other bonuses or increases that you receive for merit or for cost of living. That's correct. Just going to turn this over. For our healthcare plans, we have 5 here. Like I stated, you can read those for yourself, but typically they are very affordable and they have very low deductibles, which is very popular. Exactly. We also offer up to 10% 401k match. If you contribute nothing, we still contribute 3%. If you contribute more than 3%, we match additional. Correct. We have scheduled bonus periods twice a year for our project managers. At that time, you are asked to be in front of a board and to talk about some of your successes, and you can also just prepare your own portfolio for those projects. The panel and the board will then decide if you merit a bonus. If you are considered, it doesn't mean you will receive anything, so you don't automatically get one. Most of our project managers do. Yes. Generally, for our project managers, you can see down here, our expectation is that you are overseeing at least 3 projects at any given time. If you are overseeing a very major project, for example, a hospital, that is a single project, and we do not allow you to oversee other projects during that time, and it does not actually harm you in any way. We look at the overall cost and benefit of your projects per year, not at how many. So when you do the promotional boards and things, it will say you managed a $53 million, project for hospital development, or 3 $10 million projects for urban development, or something like that. So you still, it's very fair way to do that. We do break the areas up regionally here, as you can see, and that is so your cost, overall cost for your projects in, let's say, Oklahoma is not competing with somebody in New York who can do a project 5 times smaller and 5 times more expensive. Yes, we try to be fair with that. Exactly. We also offer, here you can see the employee benefits. So we have pet insurance, we have reimbursement of gym memberships, and we cap that at $500 a year, but that's still a nice benefit. Yep. We do pay for your cell phone bill because we understand that you are off of the clock answering calls a lot of times if projects have an emergency, different things like that. So just be advised that that's not a problem, okay? Yes, that's correct. Yep. Okay, and then the other benefit I would mention is the auto insurance. So we have a special auto insurance program for our employees because you are driving quite a bit to different sites often, so we do cover your full auto insurance. And then the last thing is that we do reimburse mileage up to 53 cents per mile, or we offer you a company car when you are driving over 200 miles per month for that. Yes. Okay. All right. What other questions do you have about the company? Yes, so we are a publicly traded company. We do offer trade value in place of salary. So if you want to take, for example, $50,000 of your salary and just use it for bond or stock investment through our company, that's an option for you, and it does help to drive down the annual income if you are making too much from tax perspective. That's something you'd be interested in? Okay. Yes, and we have been publicly traded for 25 years. That's correct. So if you don't have any other questions, I'm just going to add a couple notes here. Okay, so I did go ahead and recommend you for a second interview with our interview team, so that is exciting. Hopefully you will be interested. I'm just going to write down my email for you. If you have any questions or if you don't get a call or email about your second interview within a week, just give me a call. Sometimes there's issues with like going to your spam mail or whatever. That's usually what happens. Yes, and again, my name is Midnight. I really hope that you felt that the interview was successful and that you're interested in coming back for a second interview. If so, then I will hope to see you in the near future, and best of luck to you in your second interview panel. You're welcome. Bye-bye.